11 Kia. This is let me just go check. 2011 Kia Sportage, I believe that's what it is, LX. So we're gonna replace the belt. So belt on this car is really easy. So I'm gonna set up my camera here. So pretty much you got the tool right there. This is where the tool goes. So you should be able to remove the whole belt from right here. Make sure you draw a diagram. It goes around the compressor. It goes over this power steering pump, around that pulley in the bottom, right underneath that engine mount. Then it goes to the compressor, around the crank, comes back up to the tensioner and to the alternator. So, got a ratchet on, so I'm going to show you guys how to exactly do this. So let me just set up my camera. Okay, so the lighting is not going to be the best, but let's make the best of it, I guess. There you go, that's better. So pretty much what I'm going to do here is I'm going to yank on this tensioner from right here. So as you can see right there, I'm able to yank this tensioner. And I'm going to take off this belt. I'm going to take it off from this idle pulley down here. And then my tensioner is going to come and hit up above. It's not going to be a good idea. So we're going to go back up and onto this little guy. And the reason why is because this wants to go back and it wants to hit the fireball. So what we'll do is, let me turn my ratchet down and we'll start from over here somewhere and yank this tensioner. Okay, there you go. And then this guy still goes and hits in the bottom. That's not good. It's not good for me or this job. So let's see where I could get this from. The more I try, the worse it gets. So let's try now. And there you go. We have successfully released our belt. So remember, the belt does go underneath the tensioner, so make sure you get it underneath that tensioner. Okay, we got a problem here. Not a problem, but gonna have to go back and trying to get this tensioner to release my ratchet now, which shouldn't be an issue. Okay, oh, there goes my ratchet. So there we have it. We got the belt off. As you guys can see, the belt is all off, and we're gonna have to re-wrap this whole belt. And what we're gonna do is, my ratchet fell in there. That's fine. I'm not worried about the ratchet. So remember, this belt goes around this little guy, and we got a huge problem here. I'm not sure if I can get this belt around this tensioner. Hopefully we don't gotta take out that freaking tensioner. So we got two bolts, one here and one there. So I'm gonna loosen them up and let's see if we can get that belt out of there. So the belt goes around the tensioner. Okay, I'm sorry about the wiggly camera here, but there's hardly any space. Let's see if I get my socket onto this little guy, and we need to switch the directions on this little guy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen up the two bolts. Ah, the camera's just taking a beating. Oh yeah, the camera's taking a serious beating. We got one more down here. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that part out. So once I loosen both of them, the tensioner should be loose, out of the way a little bit for the belt to come out. So, but let me loosen it and then we'll come back. The tensioner is loose, just enough loose so we could get this belt out of there. Okay, I'm gonna have to go a little bit more looser than that. Okay, let's get this baby loose. There you go. a little bit more on the top end. So I'm gonna have to put my socket on this little guy. I'm using a deeper socket now than the shorter socket. And come on, little guy. Come loose. Sometimes if you wiggle it, the load will come off the bolt. Should have got my smaller ratchet. One more attempt with the ratchet to make it a little bit more looser than that. Just need enough free play in the back so the belt can slip right through the back. Belt has to go right through the back end of this pulley. Okay, and if it can't come out, then the whole tensioner needs to come out, which is not a good idea in this case, because we're doing this as a favor. Okay, and there goes my socket. So we're gonna end up loosening this tensioner as much as possible, and worst come to worst, this thing has taken up too much of my time. We're gonna remove the tensioner if we have to, okay? So I'm gonna take off this bolt completely. Just know that you might have to do this. Okay, there you go, that's one. Let's see if the tensioner is able to release this belt now. If not, then we're gonna go to the back bolt. I'm gonna come forward. It's just the angle, you know. We should be able to slip this belt out of there somehow, some way, but I guess not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of this, give ourselves a good 1.5 inches. Okay, still. Wow, Mr. Tensioner. There you go, it's coming along pretty well. Okay, I see the problem. The tensioner too close to the belt, so the mechanism is not allowing it to come out. So we're gonna just take out this damn darn thing. Make sure you don't mix up the bolts. Okay, so if you need to replace the tensioner, this would be the way. You see how it's not releasing nothing. It's not releasing the belt because this area right here is turned into disaster. Okay, so this turned into a disastrous recipe. That's fine. It's fine with me, Mr. Tensioner. We're gonna come out here. And we're gonna work with this guy outside. Whew. Freaking tensioner. Okay. Camera's falling. Okay, I've got the tensioner this far, but it still doesn't want to come out. Don't want to have to jack up the damn engine for this. Okay, all I need is this belt to slip right through, which it won't release. I'm gonna get this guy out, then I'll show you. Belt will slip out because of this little guy. So if you do this, Oh God, I don't even know how I'm gonna get that belt out. We're not taking that off because we don't want to do that. So what we will do is, oh my God, this thing got load on it, heavy load. So maybe and a ratchet this way. This was more complicated than I imagined. Okay, the belt come out, but you need 3 people here. Oh God. Only Kia and Hyundai will make some shit like this. Good luck to me. He's trying to get the new belt in there. Let's go a little bit that way. There you go. Time to get the new belt. It's time to get the new belt. Just let that sit there. So you always want to take your new and old belt, put it together. Make sure it's the same length, like I'm doing here. Make sure it's the same length. So hopefully we get this right the first time. The thing went in like a butter. Anyways, so we got this in. So what I'm gonna do is the tensioner goes back in and then we'll lock it up. Okay guys, so this is done. So remember, we had to loosen that tensioner rod because it reroutes the belt right behind it. So the only way to get it out is either loosen it a bit or take it out. You see me do it. So the belt comes from the alternator, it goes onto the power steering pump, goes around the idle pulley down there, and around the compressor, and then it goes around the crank pulley, comes back around the tensioner, and goes back down to the alternator and comes right back. So that's how you're gonna do this, guy. It shouldn't take you more than 30-40 minutes max. It was a little complicated than I thought it would be, but all I needed was a 12 millimeter. This is the guy that helped me push the belt on, and ratchet and pry bar. I don't know why I have this here, but I was gonna use it as this though. So that's it, job well done. We're gonna crank this car up. Always check your belt if it's sitting properly on each pulley. Just double check it, just run your fingers on it and you should know. You can see the alternator very clearly and compressor, just the bottom pulleys here, and the crank pulleys you can't see. So, but you can see it from this angle. Anyways, thank you for watching my video.